Good evening. The mother of Alfie Phillips and her former partner have been found guilty of his murder after a night of violence in their caravan near Faversham. The toddler suffered more than 70 injuries to his body.
He was beaten to death and smothered in an attack by Sian Hedges and Jack Benham, fuelled by whiskey and cocaine. The little boy died with dozens of bruises, broken ribs and traces of cocaine in his body. After the verdicts were delivered, the jury at Maidstone Crown Court were told they never needed to serve on a jury again because the evidence they'd had to listen to was so harrowing.
Well, Joe Caution is live at the court for us tonight. Joe, this has been such a distressing case.
Yeah, it's been one of the most traumatic trials I think I've covered, Stacey. It's brought tears from all four corners of Court 7 here at Maidstone Crown Court over the last 9 weeks, hearing that exhaustive and torturous list of Alfie's 70 injuries. Those were just the visible ones. It's hard to comprehend, really, the sort of pain that he must have endured. It's also difficult to imagine how traumatic it has been for Alfie's family, for his father Sam, and having to wait almost 3 years to the day for justice, and also to hear the distressing details of what happened to his son at the hands of Alfie's mother and her boyfriend.
There was never a dull moment with Alfie Phillips, always playing and laughing, described as a brilliant and lovely little mummy's boy. His father Sam told the court he was as good as gold in the days before he was beaten black and blue and killed by his mother Sian Hedges and her partner Jack Benham.
Alfie's own mother, who should have been there to keep him safe and to protect him, along with her boyfriend Jack Benham, have caused such unimaginable pain and suffering to Alfie. They subjected him to so much violence. It was torturous and it was wicked. At no point during this investigation or this trial have they taken responsibility for what they've done. And that's meant that the family have had to endure a lengthy trial listening to the horrendous details of what Alfie has been put through and the web of lies that have been told.
Alfie died with more than 70 injuries, multiple broken bones in his arms and legs, fractured ribs and evidence of smothering. It was clear to medics and officers within minutes of him arriving in an ambulance at the QEQM hospital in Margate that his death was no accident.
At this moment in time, you are under arrest for
Excuse
neglect.
me?
You're under arrest for the neglect of a child, okay? You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention
You're
when
arresting
question
me.
something which you later rely on in court.
No.
Anything you do say may be given
No,
evidence.
no, you can't arrest me. What about
Jack.
Yet, when the pair were arrested in the hospital grounds, initially on suspicion of child neglect, they both pleaded their innocence.
What do you mean?
Okay, so the bruising to his eye, okay, there's a deformation with one of the wrists. And the hospital have also told us from an X-ray, just wait a moment, okay, that there's potentially an old fracture to one of the arms as well, which may have required some sort of hospital treatment at the time, but they can't find any records to show that it has been taken. Okay, that's what we've been told at the moment in time. Now listen to me, I'm not saying that you have done anything at all, but listen to me, just let me finish. Okay, so it's 2:33. What I have to do at this moment in time is I'm going to have to arrest you on suspicion of child neglect. Okay, just listen to me. So you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question.
Alfie was also found with several human bite marks, some of which former soldier Benham tried to explain in his police interview.
What happened next? So you picked Alfie up.
Went straight out of the house.
Straight up to the house. You said you tried to raise him by biting him. Whereabouts you bite him?
Well, I was holding him like this, so it would have been somewhere around here. I literally I was just screaming in his head. I'd never been like that before, so I didn't know what I was doing.
It was November 2020, 3 weeks into a second national COVID lockdown in this sleepy village near Faversham, where Alfie was killed in a caravan shared by Jack Benham and Sian Hedges. Only they know what happened to him that night, but initially told police they had no explanation for his horrific injuries. A strategy that would soon change during the trial, each accusing the other of the toddler's murder.
Inside the caravan, bottles of spirits crowd the kitchen counters, just a few steps away from the cramped sofa bed and cartoon-themed duvet where all three slept. On the afternoon of November the 27th, 2020, Alfie spent time with Jack Benham's mother, and the toddler was his usual lively self, she told the police, with no sign of any injury. At 7 p.m, Alfie was returned to Benham's caravan in the grounds of his parents' home. At 2 a.m, Hedges told the trial she left the caravan for 40 minutes to buy drugs. Alfie was not seen by anyone other than Benham and Hedges until 11:30 a.m, when Benham woke to find him trapped under his legs and could not wake him. Shouting for help, he told police he left the caravan with Alfie blue and floppy in his arms. Benham told the trial that he would never harm Alfie, that he treated him as one of his own, and that his mother must have killed him while he slept, knocked out by whiskey and cocaine. Hedges told the jury that Benham must have killed her son during that 40-minute window she left the caravan to buy drugs. But prosecutors were in no doubt. Both Hedges and Benham were responsible for killing the 18-month-old toddler they were supposed to care for and protect.
Our case has always been that there was an agreement between the two by the very nature of the circumstances of the offences. He was fit and well prior to going into that caravan. That caravan is a small area. Effectively, it's open plan. One or other of them, or both of them, were assaulting Alfie, and by the very act of being in there, not preventing that assault, not helping Alfie, not seeking help, there's an agreement to mete out the assaults that ultimately caused his death.
And the jury agreed, reaching a unanimous verdict, finding Hedges and Benham jointly guilty of Alfie's murder.
So, Joe, what happens now?
Well, they'll be back here in court on the 19th of December, Stacey. A hearing that for the first time ever in Kent will be filmed, giving the public the chance to see justice being served and the judge handing them both a mandatory life sentence.
Joe Caution, thank you very much for that.